How you doing, gorgeous? I guess it's that time of year where I start talking about video games. Or about time in the first place. So let's talk about BioShock. BioShock was the first ever Call of Duty expansion for the Xbox 360, creating horrible things for the game. Actually, BioShock is one of the greatest games I've ever played, and I'd highly recommend it on anybody who has not played or has played any game ever. This includes Mario, phone games, Call of Duty. I forgot to make an intro. 1 second, please. The Edgy Knights Club. Or, the Noble Knights of the East. That's a bad name. Or, the greatest of all the neat... So, to start the story off, your name is Jack. And you're on a plane going straight to I don't know where. Maybe you're going back to your family. I don't know. But either way, your plane crashes in the mid-Atlantic. Straight out of nowhere, you think you're gonna die. But you swim up in the plane's ashes. Rise an amazing tower. But yeah, you see some weird tower in the middle of the ocean. You're like, hey, there's nowhere else to go. Maybe I should swim towards this tower. And you see 2 golden doors, and they're like, you got one guy holding up a globe, and you're like, hey, maybe I should go inside this tower. And then you go in the dark room, and you're like, holy crap, it's dark in here. That door just closed behind me. What the heckin' second doggy toe? But then the lights turn on, and you're like, who's this man above me saying no men? I mean, no gods, only men. This is a weird guy. I should go down these stairs now. So then you go down the stairs and you see some kind of submarine. You go inside the submarine and I forget what it's called. 1 second, let me look that up. But then you go straight down in the darkness of the deepest ocean. And what do you see? Some guy named Ryan talking about how he built this city. He's like, I chose Rapture. You know why I chose Rapture? So I could get people to do all the drugs they wanted and to do all sorts of messed up stuff. They can be an artist if they want. I don't really care. I just want to free to do whatever I want. So then you continue onward, my friend. Yes, you continue onward. After seeing this, you can't really back up, actually. You're in the bathysphere. You got nowhere else to go. So you hear some Irish guy, and then he's like, oh my gosh, that's a whale. Did you see that whale? That thing was huge. And it's like a dark room, and you're like all scared and stuff, and then you're like, hey, maybe I should calm down a little bit. There's a kid out there, actually. He's talking to some lady. She's got knives in her hands or something. So she goes ahead and like does things. I can't show them here because it's like school related and stuff, man. What do you think I am, a censor? I am a censor. I kind of gotta censor myself here. So the kid's gone for no apparent reason. We'll just say he went off to a magical farm where he can roam around and frolic for a while. Just like your dog when you were 6 years old. So the Irish guy starts talking over this microphone thing. It's some kind of walkie-talkie, except it's bigger and doesn't sound like crap. Hey, Tails, you like this to get out of the bathysphere? So you do, and you're like, oh my gosh, she's so scary. Where's that lady at? She got knives in her hands. I don't want to mess with that. Nobody wants to mess with a lady with knives in her hands. Anyways, the Irish guy tells you to go on, and he'll help you out with the crazy lady with the knives in her hands. And she lets out a scream, and a little robot comes down and starts shooting at her. Then another little robot comes down and starts shooting at her. Then she runs away, and you're like, hey, that's a wrench. I should grab this wrench. So you pick up good old wrenchy and you bust down a little barricade of rubble. You're like, oh my god, that is a flaming couch. That is a flaming couch. Don't touch me with that flaming couch. Don't. Flaming couches hurt a lot. So you go up there and you're like, hey dude, it's not cool to push couches down at people when they're on fire. This guy looks kind of messed up. He might be on something. So you go ahead and introduce him to Wrenchy. You take a better look at his face, maybe take a few whacks at it, which I cannot show, by the way. The gore physics in this game are just basically tomatoes. I can show, listen to some sounds. Here, you gotta listen to a few sounds here. squish, 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 squish. Go up the stairs and go squish, 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 squish. My daddy's better than your daddy. Squish, 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 squish. And then you get taken in the arm, and it's like squish, 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 squish. You fall down, you're like squish, 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 squish. You like you squish, 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 squish. Zap. Now you got the zappy powers, but I'm out of time here, so I gotta end the episode, so I'm gonna go now. I'll continue this later. Okay, love you, bye. So, would you play this game to continue? Would you enjoy it, as I've described it? Or would you be one of those to shun the weaklings who play video games and go work out for yourself, not enjoying a good story like a book or a movie? Either way, have a nice day, my friend.
I've got a family. I need to get them out of here. But the splicers have cut me off from them. If you can reach them in Neptune's bounty, then maybe, just maybe. I know you must feel like the unluckiest man in the world right now. But you're the only hope I'll ever see my wife and child again. Go to Neptune's bounty. Find